Hey y'all. So in my last video I was going through kind of a how-to on how to use a bait cast reel, rod and reel and stuff. So this time I figured we would just go through a spin cast just to kind of give people different options and things to see which ones they like best. I personally prefer a spin cast just because you don't get a lot of that backlash and stuff. So anyway, stay tuned and we'll start showing you how to use that spin cast rod. All right, so here we are. We got my spin cast rod here. It's a little dirty, but I normally use it for catfishing, but I just threw a little crappie jig on there just to kind of show you all how to do this. I hope y'all can hear me all right. The wind is going pretty good right now. Anyway, so just to kind of give you the basics of kind of lay everything out here. So this is your handle, obviously. So whenever you spin it, you see, this is why it's called a spin cast, because your bail it spins when you reel it in. And so just like the bait cast from the last video, instead of this being sideways, it's turned the other way, and it has a free spool. So the actual spool itself, the thing that the string is on, it spins. But on these, it doesn't. And if you could see right here, I don't know if you can see, but in this, whenever you flip this, which is called the bail, you flip it and the string itself is what comes out. There's nothing inside that actually spins. So it's just the momentum of the string and the weight of your lure or your bait, what have you, that is what causes the string to come out. And then how hard you throw your rod into the water, or not the rod, don't let go of the rod, but how far you sling it out there, that's how far you're gonna go. So let's reel it up a little bit. So this is your handle. Like I said, this is your bail. So when you flip it open, it releases your string and it makes it into free spool. Whenever you're ready to reel it back in, of course you flip your bail back and it locks it back in place. And see how it moves up and down. It guides your line to go from top to bottom. That way it doesn't go, it doesn't kind of build up on top of each other. So that's why your bail is there, and that's why your spool moves up and down. It has the gears on the inside. So here on the top, this is your drag. See, the one on the bait cast, it was on the side of the reel, but this is your drag. So you tighten it, turn it to the right, it tightens it up, turn it to the left, it loosens it up, righty tighty, lefty loosey. And that's how much drag you have. So the looser it goes, easier it is to pull out. The tighter it goes, the harder it is to pull out. And eventually it'll get to the point where you just can't hardly pull it out at all. I like to keep mine pretty loose until I get a fish on there, and then I'll tighten it up a little bit. So that's your drag. You set it to however you want it, whatever you prefer. And so on here, this is, not all of them have this, but this is just a flip switch. So where your reel can go in reverse. So right now I can reel it up forward, or where I'm reeling my string in, but I can't go backwards. And to be honest, I never use the reverse in the reel, but people do. So normally you can reel it up like this. If you flip your switch like I just flipped it, you can do it in reverse, and that way you're just kind of letting your string out. But to me, it makes a mess sometimes. So I don't ever really mess with that too much. Some people might, I don't. That's just a preference for me, depending on how you want to do it. So that's your basics on just the reel itself. Now, how to cast it, some people find it a little difficult, but I'm just going to show you how I learned the best. You do what's best for you, and how you do it and how you learn the best. So I always bring my lure or my bait a little bit, and hopefully you can see it from the tip of the rod, a couple feet from the tip of the rod. That way you can get a good sling on this thing. And so I always make sure that the string is closest to the rod, and of course it's going parallel with the rod. So I will hold it with my index finger, and I'll hold it up against the rod like this. And remember the bail, I will flip the bail. As I'm holding the string, the lure doesn't go anywhere. We're holding it pretty tight. And then whenever you're ready for it, of course, you sling back, you rear back, and you let it go. And once you get right around this area, you know, right in front of you, wherever you want to cast, point your tip of your rod wherever you want to cast, you'll let go of that string, and then the momentum and the weight of the lure itself will pull your line out of the reel into the water. And that's your, you know, that's going to be how far it goes out. Like I said, I just have a crappie jig on this thing, so it's not like it's going to go real far. But then whenever you're ready and gets in the water and you're ready to start reeling it back in, if you have a lure on it, then you'll flip that bail back into its lock position. Then you can start reeling it in. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a pretty simple reel to use. So just to kind of go over it one more time, this is your reel, this is your bail, of course, so you'll flip it to unlock your line, and then you'll flip it back to lock your line back in place. This is your drag, so lefty loosey, righty tighty, depending on how tight you want it, your preference is, and depending on what kind of fish you're going for. This is your spool, of course, that's where your line goes, and your spool will go up and down with the gears inside, just to kind of keep your line from you know, bundling up on top of each other. And that way it doesn't mess up whenever you're trying to cast. You know, whenever it's spaced out like that, it gives a better, smoother cast. And the more weight you have on the end of this thing, it will cast a little smoother. I just have a small lure on there right now, like I said, just a little crappie jig, so it's not going to cast very far and very smooth. But just for training purposes or educational purposes, it's just a small little lure. And then of course, this is your reverse gear, where you can start reeling it backwards. Like I said, I don't use that very often, and really never at all. And that's pretty much it. So then you'll hold your string up. Well, let me pull this out a little bit. Hold your string up, hold it tight to the pole, flip your bail and unlock your line, and whenever you rear back, you let go, and of course your lure will go out there. You'll flip your bail back into the lock position, and you just start reeling it in. Of course, work your jig however you're going to work it, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a pretty simple process, and you know, it's a really good reel to use. Sorry if you can't hear me, there's somebody mowing behind me. But yeah, I prefer the spin cast only because it's a much easier reel to use. It's what I learned on when I was little, and I just kind of never went away with it, or, you know, did away with the spin cast. I have bait cast reels. I have you know, catfish rods that I use bait cast, you know, the big bait cast. I have smaller bait casts for bass fishing. But at the end of the day, I'll always go back to using a spin cast because it's just what I prefer. Like I said, you just use whatever you prefer and whatever's easiest for you. For me, obviously, it's this. So, you know, that's that. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. If you want to know something, or if you want me to do a video on a how-to on something else, you know, of course, just leave something in the comments or message me, and I'll make sure and do a video on that. So until next time, we'll keep fishing.